Morning. Daylight savings time. Morning. Okay, I need this too. So I'm so happy to be here. I'm happy to see everyone. It's really great for me to see, like we call it, our family. I see so many comrades. I see so many friends and colleagues in this space right now. I really want to honor and say thank you first for giving me all the love and support to do the work that we do, and you all inspire me. And for those that I haven't met yet in the room, or those that I have met, and I might have forgotten your name because I'm really bad at names, I am happy you're here too. You all are my people, so I'm really happy to share this moment in time with y'all. So the Just Food Conference has been such a incredible time and experience for me over the years. I remember my first time that I presented at a Just Food Conference was like a couple of months after my first community advocacy training course that I did with Just Food. I was doing work around the Farm Bill 101s. I don't know if anyone remembers that. This was like in 2011. I was co-facilitating a workshop with my trainer at the time, and I feel like in that first workshop, there was probably many more people in the audience that knew more stuff about it than me. But I continued on, I continued to learn, I continued to do community engagement. And as I started to learn more about the policy and get less intimidated by the work in the policy wonks, I started to dig deeper in the actual policies and in the history of agriculture, and started to become more in contact and learning from urban ag leaders like Karen. I started to learn more about the systemic racism that exists and has been persistent in agriculture policy, like the Pigford case, the work of Shelley Sherrod and other Black rural farmers. I learned more about the inequities that kept Black and brown folks off more and more land, and the difference between the livelihood of a farmer versus farm workers. And then I, in myself as well, had started to experience some racial and gender dynamics as I was learning and doing this work as well. And then I started connecting the patriarchy and racism that I always experienced as a Black woman, I started to realize existed in the food movement as well. And this is when my work became clearer to me. My work is of and for the people. It's about cultivating power within communities, putting racial justice in praxis. And when I say the peoples, I mean the peoples, but I'm also referring to the commons, the seed, the water, the land, and the air as well. My work is rooted in the efforts and sacrifices of the elders and ancestors, and just the hardworking folks that came before me. Those who grew food to survive in rural areas and in our own neighborhoods here when they were burning and purposely under-resourced. Know that I'm also acknowledging the work and the efforts of the Black Panthers, the Young Lords, Dr. Booker Watley, Fannie Lou Hamer, and countless others who grew food and fought for the people at great cost to them. Sometimes people ask, like, why isn't my work or other work of similar folks well known in the field? Or, and I said, there's probably two reasons for that. I thought about it, and then I said there's probably two reasons for that. One, because folks like us are usually too busy doing the hard work. For me, that could look like building training so that folks can identify their power within city structure. That can also be being inspired by conversations in the community and trying to figure out how to build a project to increase culturally relevant food in markets and direct to folks. And sometimes for me, it can also look like speaking to policymakers. So usually we're just too busy to be doing the work to actually be talking about the work to folks. The other thing too is that I see a lot of our work and my work is to amplify the work on the ground of folks that are deeper on the ground than I am and already in the soil even more than I will ever be. My work now is to amplify and lift up when I get the chance in the platform and get to the table where folks don't normally get to the table and get a voice, to lift up the work of folks like Cheryl Durant at Kelly Street Garden, like Maggie and D at Rocksteady Farm and Flowers, like Reverend Terry at the Crown Heights CSA, like Rafael Aponte at Rocky Acres Farm. Oh, sorry, I didn't know you were here. That's so wild. Nice. Yeah, no, that is my work. My work is to use and leverage what I know people see as to break through the oppression, to dismantle our oppressive structures and use what my people think, like my light skin or my freckles, or that I sound really well-informed and educated, to get in the door and to lift up the work that they wouldn't hear otherwise. That is why I'm here. That is why I do this work. So when you see me at an advocacy training, stumbling over my words or talking too long, or I'm at a city council hearing, or I'm talking in the community, or just listening, a lot of times I'm just listening, know that that's what my work is about. Just trying to put racial justice in praxis, your work and my work, because it is for the people. A really good friend recently told me that true momentum comes from lifting up with one hand and the other lifting up those you are connected with. I can't have two hands on a megaphone if one of them is doing the actual work. I want my impact to be seen in the movement to shift the power of the people. I really don't see any other way to do it. So I might not be seen as often, but I feel like it will have a deeper impact because I'm actually deeper on the ground in the work, and I'm also using that momentum to lift folks up. And that's all of us. We need to move together. We need to be informed by the lessons of the past and the work of the current folks and the youth with this intent of the collective. We all have a part in the struggle. We all have the power to make incremental and to exponential change, to learn, to get uncomfortable, to stand up, and to act up. I encourage all of you to make the incremental to exponential change in your workplace, in your homes, in your community, in the larger world. Change is on a spectrum. There's so many different ways to do it, and we all have the power. It's all about redistributing the power and the wealth and our privilege. And I want you all, as you leave after this, to let the conference inspire you, to be inspired by others. Leave the I in your seat right here and step or even just jump into collaboration and start building solidarity. Because if you're not doing it for the people, why are you doing it at all? So oh, thanks. I want to leave you with a few words that from Chairman Fredman Hampton from the Black Panther Party. He said this once, and I actually look at this video quite often. And he said, or one of the things he said was, why don't you live for the people? Why don't you struggle for the people? Why don't you die for the people? So I'm encouraging everybody here today to leave with that, commit in this moment right now to make the change and to build together, because we are the people. And I want to hear everyone say that. You have to say it to mean it. So, we are the people.
We are the people.
No, a little more. Say it with a little feeling. Say like you're going to do it with intent today.